Now, Sky News understands that Ukrainian forces have started an operation against Russian troops in a key Russian-occupied part of southern Ukraine. Kherson was seized by Russian forces in the early days of the all-out invasion, but there are now moves on the ground to reclaim it. It comes amid growing concerns around the safety of the Zaporizhia nuclear power plant, which has been occupied by Russian troops since March. Our security and defence editor, Deborah Haynes, joins us now from central Ukraine. Tell us a bit more about this operation then to retake Kherson.
Well, there's been a lot of movement on the Ukrainian side in recent weeks, counter-offensives, launching attacks against key supply routes for the Russian forces in that southern region of Kherson, including hitting railway bridges, road bridges, and also ammunition supplies. But what we've been told and what a Ukrainian military official has said is that an offensive operation has begun today. It's not clear if this is the all-out counter-offensive that people had been expecting could come. Remember, Ukraine is relying heavily on Western weapons, and it would need a certain level of Western supplies and also trained troops to use those weapons to be able to launch a counter-offensive. But commanders would also be weighing up the fact that time is running out before we slip into the winter months, when suddenly conducting military offensives becomes an awful lot more difficult. To give you a sense of the mood tonight amongst Ukrainian officials, one of the president's advisors took to Twitter earlier, saying that the only possible options for negotiations with Russia is being conducted by a special Ukrainian delegation in the southern and other directions of the front line. And he quoted, "Negotiations are going well. We expect new compromises in the form of gestures of goodwill." Clearly a hope that by putting pressure on Russian forces, then Ukraine can gain a further advantage. But one more point to make, that while, yes, it does seem that Ukrainian forces, according to their officials, are making this push in the south, the front line is vast. There are multiple flashpoints. There's huge concern right now around the nuclear plant in Zaporizhia. It's under Russian control. There have been clashes around there, intensifying in recent days, and a team from the UN's nuclear watchdog, the IAEA, is coming to Ukraine this week specifically to visit the plant because of safety concerns if one of those attacks were to hit a reactor and trigger a nuclear disaster. That would just add a new and more horrific dimension to an already bloody war.